Hi. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking for a little bit better lightning because ooh, okay, this is better. I changed changed spots last time, and I changed it from the last time because it's um yeah, I'll explain. There is a bad vibration coming from the previous place where I was at because I'm having disturbances in the field, and I don't have much light at the moment as usual because my light bulbs, my lamp went off and I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Let me just see what's there. Okay. I don't know how this is going to look because uh, it's a completely different spot and I'm not used to it. So yeah, I really took me a while to sit down and get this transmission done. Um, I'm in a little bit better spot energetically than the last week. But I just really honestly last week had like a 5 minute pause before I started to film, thinking whether I really want to do this. Because I have been on the severe attacks again, and it's been pretty bad. Now it's wearing off. But this is why I changed spots, by the way, because there was something sent there where I usually make my videos. It's not that far from this spot. Anyways, it's yeah. Um, this is not the video to make the things even go even further down because since last week things happened like a day after I posted a video. You all know things changed. But what I spoke about and what I'm going to touch upon here last week. Oh, yeah, here we go again. Uh, I still have some nets. Basically, there are some nets around me. They were even worse today, and yeah, they're like nets all over me, so that I don't connect, and so that I don't channel, and so that I don't connect to my guidance and receive information. And like here around my head and here, and I'm feeling it like in my ears here and here, and now here it's like a pressure. So it's been, I've been feeling it like before when I would sit down to make videos, but it kind of enhanced itself. And last week I felt it pretty, I cleared myself, but the moment I sat down to make a video, I felt it like it was on the very chair where I'm making it. So, oh, I'm really tired of that. I'm really honestly tired, and I don't want to give up. I'm on the verge of my nerves because of all of it. So, remember I spoke in spring about this heavy astral attack that I was on that made me also be sick and got that COVID, stupid energetic parasite or whatever that is, and the artificial program that was in it. Well, it happened again. It's just that it was really attack. I was attacked afterwards, but this one it was not as heavy as the last time, but it was almost detrimental. So I had to ask for help. Basically, what happened is I had a client who had a couple of doses of vaccine, and it was Pfizer. And although I had clients previously before, I I said I don't ask my clients, and I don't want to divide people, and I don't want to make I'm not going to refuse a session based on that, and I don't have the rights to ask something like that. But mm, I didn't. The only reason why I asked the client whether she had a vaccine is because the session was completely unsuccessful. We couldn't do anything. We did it in 2 rounds. So the second time round, we were successful. We did everything. We went to the soul plane, and we brought down everything she needed to receive this time around. But until we waited for a week for another session for the second time round, and through that time, during that time, oh God, um, all kinds of things went through me. It was horrible. I mean, she already had. It was a pretty difficult energy session, energy wise, and we had to clear quite a bit of things from her because she's like completely, she's a young girl and powerful. Well, well, with some choices before, yes, but not this time around. And she had all kinds of vampires attached to her because they like her energy. She's from divine feminine lineage, and she has this flowy crystal energy that they like, and anybody who could attach to her attached to her. She had, even before this, pretty much quite a few of them attached to her, draining her. She's a sports person, so she's into sports, so she has a lot of energy though, so that saved her. And I guess this is what, with the during the that I know how it goes, how they push you in that when in the direction they want you to make choices, so that you can always be available to them, so that they can attach and continue using your energy wherever you are. Uh, this probably led to the choosing to get a vaccine because she was not really thinking it through. And regardless, I'm not going to be repeating the session. It was about sadness. I mean, she was already into the sadness. The thing with the divine feminine energies is that the goddess energies. I'm not only divine feminine. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine. This is our soul. This is what we do when we bring down your when we connect you to your eternal identity in a session. It's your somebody is trying something is here that is just trying to jam the session to block it. But I don't. Anyways, that's one thing. We are all divine, and when we connect to your eternal being, your true identity, we connect to your divine self. But this is something else. It's like it's a level up, but it's a different thing that I'm talking here about. The goddess energy is like the lineage of prime creators, the first creators who ever came here, and their descendants. Their descendants here. Wow, there are quite a few. There are some of us who are that, and she's in that from that one of those groups lineages, and I didn't have to pull in that much into the session. I didn't have to um, feel that much, I guess, but I really wanted to help her because she has a really good heart, and I just and her guide did his best, and I did my best. I did everything, but I didn't expect what's going to happen after or during, actually, not during the session itself, but in the time in between with me. So the goddess energies, those who are from creator groups, they're coded to create. Their energy is coded to create by default. Whatever you put in this energy, they're going to create. And whether they're male or female doesn't matter. I'm talking about divine feminine energy, but it's a lineage. It's a specific lineage. Lineages. only one. You know. So I think I might be wrong. I'm talking about more people, but I'm just talking about the stream. So it doesn't really matter which one of it she is, but the thing is that her energy is like that. She's from the creator group, and I had the clients like that. I know by my own energy, and I've had clients who have children like that. I mean, they're possibly they themselves are like that. There are some who just don't have this. It's not a gene; it's a code. They don't have this code. There are some who do, and they're specifically of interest to certain beings, to certain groups, like she was, like I am myself. So this is why I know what was going on with her. This is why I could help her. But I didn't understand everything until the end of the session. Um, when you have a goddess energy, when this energy creates anything that it has, its field and its energy, it's times three. So if there is love, peace, joy, it's times three. If there is sadness, hatred, anger, it's times three. So in some cases, even more, depending on how much energy you have. So this is why they're specifically interested in these kind of energies. Everybody wants to have a divine feminine goddess energy, a female, especially female energy in their group. Not necessarily being in a front face, face or just a leader of the group, but just being in the group so that they can create for them, so they can enhance everything, and they're successful because they're multiplying everything times three. And it's you only need one person, and if you have more of those, oh boy. So this is why they're interested in these particular beings. And it's a being like giving. We're not same species. We're different species than these ones who are interested. The ones that I just said, vampires. They're the ones who are the service to self group, and they cannot create themselves, and this is why they're interested in beings who are creators, and they basically create for them. They do have idea. It's not about ideas. I'm not talking about ideas. It's yes, we do create collectively. So whatever what we all focus on collectively multiplies, and then we have an agreement collectively to create this or that. Given the um, I'm being listened to. Uh, given that we are given that we are all human family creators or angelical family. I'm talking about angelical lineages now. It's not like on the sixth plane, on the soul level, we are all we all come together, and these polarities that are summits and levels blend together. My cat wants to come up, but the chair is too small. However, in this plane, this is 3D plane I'm talking about, also for the astral plane, where this all happened. This is where they create. And there in that plane, they cannot create. They can invert, divert, steal codes, send you symbols and stuff that will make you create. Put something in your energy that will you create. And this is how they manipulate us, like the entire human family, with visuals, with subliminal messages, with belief systems, with traumas, with everything that we have been discussing so far. This is what we're all dismantling now, trying to dismantle, yeah. But in particular, these kind of energies. This is why we have the feminine energy, speaking about the feminine and divine feminine energy in particular rising now, because not only that the feminine has been suppressed so far, it's that these creator um, female lineage, creator lineages, but female goddesses, goddess energies have been abused. So if you have too many of those who have had lives in misery and in pain and traumatized, you can imagine how the creation will look like. Hence, what we're witnessing now. And I'm sure she's not the only one that this is happening to, but I'm just giving you the background of why uh, the type of the energy that I work with, and this is and why I wanted to all of myself. I put all of myself for all of my clients. It's not only this one. It's just so I feel really bad when I'm unable to help someone and to really deliver what we agreed upon. It's not always up to me. It's usually not up to me because there are other beings working there, but up to the client whether they allow me, whether they want to create a change. She wanted to. She really wanted to. She put in effort, and this is why we were successful. So I'm coming to the point what happened with me. I got attacked not only by the beings who were attached to her, not beings, oh, human. I mean, of course, they're beings on some level, but they're in human form. They have bodies. So some of them, which we also confirmed in the session, are some have been attacking me before, and some that I'm familiar with from the astral plane and everything that I've been facing. Or not. Uh, these ones that I'm familiar with got attacked me. Whether they sent her with this idea or not, I don't know. But it's nothing about her. It's not her fault. She doesn't have a clue. She needed help, and she got it. I'm gonna make sure I deliver and give help to anybody who asks it from me. So those fuckers know for the future. And this is why I've been my flow client has been a little bit blocked, but it's because of the energies also around. Anyways, I got sick from her vaccine because I connected that much with her energy. I literally felt. I mean, I usually do feel what my clients feel, and I feel things in the when they have pain in their bodies, and I have symptoms that they do, and this is how I diagnose. But this was a little bit different because either something is developing in me that I don't know how to control yet, or I just picked it up to my. There was something there. You could feel it. It was palpable, and it was not natural. And I asked her because the session was not going right. She was scared too, but it was like I was hit. I was like a wall, or like a wall around her. I was like, I asked her, "Did you take the vaccine?" And she said yes. And not only one of those, and I just said, "Oh God, that's one of the reasons." And yes, when we got to the soul plane afterwards, uh, she confirmed when we asked her guidance and her council of elders what was blocking the session, and herself, because she felt like she has something around her that is blocking her connection, and like she's blind, she couldn't see, and when we where we went, it was all dark and there was nothing, and she was not receiving any information, like she had shade. And she said it's part of, like half of it was the vaccine, and the vaccine blocks connection to the soul. This is what they said. And how? We don't really know because it didn't push to receive this information. From what I understood, given to I had other clients who got vaccine, few of them, not quite. I don't, like I said, I didn't ask them. This is from the people who told me and from the ones that I felt myself. It was not like this. It was more difficult with usual, but it was. I mean, we were able to somewhere one go, but it was not like normal session. So some of them told me afterwards, so I know, and they did. There were, but I don't know whether just one or how many doses, so and which type. I don't think that really matters because the feeling that I had from them is pretty much the same. It's like a wall, like an armor of something, and you just cannot, nothing gets through. And then it's you're like your energies. They're not clashing. With some, they're clashing, but they're like no, they're like in prison. So yeah, their nervous system, they can't relax, and it's much more harder for them to relax. And they're all, well, our other clients who didn't have a vaccine who are here. These ones, it's like you have this river here that I'm seeing and feeling that just cannot come through down through them, and then it goes through me. So yeah, that's why I know. And that's how I got everything pretty much from her. So not only that I felt all these other things that were clearing through me, I felt that there was something around underneath her heart here, like curled up. I felt that with other clients who had a vaccine. And I've had other practitioners of other techniques tell me that when they worked with people who got the vaccine, they had the same images or feelings or reports from clients that there was something around their heart that they can, and it's something with the nervous system. It does something with the nervous system, so that the nervous system is our connection to the higher planes. I mean, anything. It just somehow it blocks it. So I didn't want to stress this client, so we didn't go there to ask exactly why it was like this, and is it artificial, whatever that. What is that is in such a way blocking connection to the soul? But I can only assume that it is something artificial. I mean, given to what I know, and given to that I witnessed where I was in the group and climbing up the mountain, there was somebody who had a phone app, a Bluetooth app that registered everybody within 1 or 2 kilometers around who was vaccinated. And I saw that afterwards in on I don't know, somewhere somebody posted it somewhere. But had I seen it posted, I would probably not believe it. But I witnessed it. There is an app that you can download from Bluetooth, and it registers everybody who has any kind of vaccine, but the strongest impulse was the one that they were getting from the Pfizer one. And I mean, this guy just was showing us that it was just kept. We were at the top of the mountain, and a group from 100 people just came and started going crazy, kept popping up. So he screenshotted everything, and we don't know how. We assumed it's because of this certificate because it's online, but now I don't think so. And going through what other people were saying, and the other things that everybody's talking about. I mean, some scientists are talking about it's something artificial. I don't know how to explain, and I won't go there now. So I asked, what can she do to detox from this? And she said that she needs to meditate, and the more she meditates and connects to her soul, is it's going to get better. It's going to get out of her system. I asked if her body needs a little bit of assistance and help because of this. And she said, no, this is enough. But I don't think so, given to what I was going through. It didn't just go through her, it went through me. So this is why it could go through her and she could connect. I didn't have anything artificial in me. So it could go through. I was in such a pain, it lowered my vibration. So I got sick. I got milder symptoms of COVID. I know we didn't have, I mean, I didn't have a fever or anything, but it was, I had this lung issues and I had like I had like thousands of arrows inside and I had heart issues and in my back and my spine. And it was, it would, I didn't see a doctor because uh, everything was packed at that time because everybody was getting sick. We were also being sprayed from all over. But I didn't get anything from that. And I'm absolutely sure because it happened straight after seeing her. And I had a visitor here who didn't get anything. So it was so me who I'm not vaccinated. I'm not going to get a vaccine. Who is seen as a threat to somebody, to the vaccine people. I mean, this hype is not going around anymore, but still, at that moment I was like bewildered because of this, because I got sick from somebody who's vaccinated, and they were saying that I'm a threat to them, you know, and that wouldn't be a problem itself. It wasn't too bad, but it lowered my vibration, and there were those other beings with other ideas who were already lurking at me. So I got attacked. I got something stabbed at my back in but not in a dream, not in an astral travel or anything. It was broad daylight. I was getting dressed to go somewhere, and I just something here, and I felt so sick, and I couldn't move, and it was I didn't have any energy, as if it was as if my energy was just draining somewhere. So I had heart issues, heart palpitations, and I had something here. I had other stabs. There was something, it was old, but those things were new. I had something here. I was like a screw with other things that like a flower, but it hurts you because it goes. I assume that this is on something that is mine or a doll or something like that, and pins also around here and around my heart were not there before. It was pretty bad. It was honestly pretty bad, and I couldn't even. I mean, I couldn't go like if I usually walk around, but I could make a couple of steps, and that was like I had things to do, and I did have some of the sessions, and I worked because when I work I clear up, and I was told I need to work. I need to work more, not less, because I clear things. They get cleared from me and around and from the client. So, but it was not. It was another heavy energy session that was. I probably did not perform as normal. So by the end of the client doesn't really want to be here. So that's another point that I need to address. Um, I need point being that I needed to ask for help. I did receive help, and this is how I know what was on me. Because somebody, not only me, somebody else saw it too. And I mean, of course, I know who did it at that time, but I didn't know I didn't connect all the dots. The last time I've been speaking about some things for a while. Now I connected all the dots, and I know all of the players in this show. I also know my role. I wasn't quite sure why my guides are allowing this. Uh, why they're being allowed to come so close, because I know for sure that my guides can react and stop some things because they have. And I do understand a little bit more. These one of the main characters in that show is in a position quite established, in a position where he could make experiment and hindered quite a bit of a star seed. So I wasn't really understanding why am I so of interest. But I do have a bit of a better understanding now because of what I just said in the beginning, like this client, but not only because of that. And this is what I'm not going to share here because I'm sure they'll be watching, and yeah, but they know by now because a lot of my energy is being directed towards preventing them to come to my physically to my space. And so far it's been through clients, but there have been some handlers sent to me, so far to extract information, and I know exactly after which conversation this all happened. So I'm quite sure that I've been directed to, to look at the direction where I needed to look. So far, I wasn't being shown this, but I know why why I am being shown. So just yeah, so I know, and it's a ring. It's quite big of a big ring, which is they're all connected. And again, there is a big group behind me too that is yet to come. So well, stay tuned. It's coming. It is coming. This time around, it really is coming. I didn't say all this in my Serbian video because I needed to be really careful because of this client, because I didn't want to distress her. Of course, she understands English. She will understand this if she watches it, and I know that she will recognize herself. And I really apologize. It's but it's a point of learning for all of us, and her too. Because when we are now fully aware of who we really are, we are susceptible for these kind of vampire energies that are living on us and creating good circumstances for themselves, but not so good for us. So this is the talk about dualities and polarities that we are faced with it now. Very painfully so lately in this latest event, not only with vaccines, but I needed to say this because it's kind of got sidetracked. We got sidetracked from that. And people who got vaccines are here. They didn't go anywhere. COVID, I mean, narrative maybe is not upfront in the news anymore, but people are here, not the people who are sick, but people who got the vaccines and who will have side effects of those. There are side effects, and this is why am I saying this? I just asked in my Serbian video, I had to ask clients, I didn't ask, but I just said I had to announce I will ask them whether they took a shot or not, because I have to check if I can work with them or not. Because this is, if they did, if it's too much of a block, this is not good um, therapy for them. This is not, it's not going to help, and it's going to make me sick. So it's for my own sake, but it's for their sake too. Because what's the point of taking their money and doing something when they're not going to receive the help that they came to receive? And if I'm going to invest myself, if I'm going to do my best for somebody, I really want to make sure that we're going to get there. Even if I have to die in that process, we're going to get there. So that's why I had to say it like this carefully. And basically, what I wanted to do is just I wanted to tell them, please don't come to me, please. I mean, there are enough. I mean, there are enough therapists around here, and quite a few of them would really like to see me not working anymore. So they, sure, I mean, they can choose. Of course, there is always a reason why somebody comes to see you. This is why I don't, but I always check. I always say no, but I always check. Even without this, I do check if I can work with somebody or not. And somebody is, you know, being sent. So sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. But there is, even with those, there is a reason why they came to see you. Like I had a client, and I didn't want to mention this before, but this is all connected. There is this group that is constantly sending me clients to be able to attach to me or extract information from me so that they can see how much do I know, how much did I connect all the dots yet. At this particular time, there was a client who came, and I knew that she has something on her, and I knew that she sent, and I refused. I didn't want to work with her because she came through another client, and like it was referred, so it's not like somebody who just pulled up down. And I at first I always talk to my clients to like have an initial interview to see if we can work, if this is something for them. And what she told me was like relationship issues, and she wanted to make different choices in her life and blah blah blah. And then when I said this is a little bit of an energetic work too, then she told me stuff about that previous relationship that she had, who was actually not so good for her, who was aggressive and like a abuser. And she told me that he was a Satanist, that he had a shrine. I mean that he had an altar that he devoted this being, that he prays all the time, that he takes he's been to prison, that he takes uh, blood from people's fingers. And I was, oh God, this is a recruiter. And I was like, listen, I can't work with you. I mean, I still need to check, of course. I mean, I have had sessions before, and I've been trained. I had training with somebody who is knowledgeable in this kind of work, regardless of my other hypnotherapy training. So I can recognize some things too. This is why I know some things. So I just had to check because of my own the way that I function, the way that I work, my energy works as a therapist. And then she said, then because she told me who the person was, and I didn't even think of checking, my friend checked. And then I saw, when she showed me a photo of this person, that it was somebody who was actually attacking me, who had a group. It's a group. It's an army, or another group, the one that I was talking about. And first, you wouldn't think that these people will be in any way connected, but they are. it's in the little things, it's in the little things. And the moment when I saw the main character was just like, was just like, like I read it in everything. Like you, like there were codes on it, and I understood everything. And by the way, I thought that guy was that not the one from a session, from the girl with a session, but because I was told so. I didn't even look for him. I didn't even think to check on him. And I died in 2010. Oh God, how stupid I am. Stupid. I'm saying this on purpose. I know I'll be, I'm not gonna, nothing I say here I regret. I think I am, but I do it purposefully. So by the way, he was at that time, that person who's connected to that client was attacking me. So I said, listen, I can't take you as a client. I'm not gonna be a good therapist to you. You know, this person, not because this person is not good, but because it's have agenda on me, and I'm not gonna be a therapist there. I'm gonna be in a different kind of mode. She wouldn't leave me alone. She kept calling and calling and calling and calling. And of course, I knew that he was pressing her because astrally you were still connected. Not only him, but me. By the way, that particular guy, I think he's by now that because somebody told me that they read it in the papers. I'm saying this so that you know what am I going through around here, because I wasn't saying this openly because I want to scare people. But that was like 2 years ago, a year ago, sorry, a year ago. But all these difficult issues and everything that I sometimes share started in 2018 when all these agendas enhanced, like not straight away before pandemic narrative, but a little bit before, when I started seeing an astral, uh, people doing rituals in hoods and stuff, an astral plane. They're not physical. Well, somewhere they're physical, but they don't always have to meet physically. And that's when I was really, I ended up, I was once attacked when, because they came through a session that I did for myself, through another therapist who told me something that she shouldn't have told me. She told me to I have to give up on some of my talents that I was abusing, and it took a portion of I was throwing light things at them. This is how I on astral. This is how I was defending myself, and this is how they disabled me. And until this day today, she doesn't want to believe that that harmed me. I ended up in a hospital. I called her that day, and she was really rude to me. And before that, I had 10 sessions with her that were completely fine. They were perfect. This is something, that I don't mean these things go in a different way. And now through some other clients, uh, I know how they go because because of this other training that I had with a therapist who was doing like ritual abuse therapy, who's working with victims of ritual abuse, satanic ritual abuse. So this is why I know some things. This is why I learned it, and this is why I understand how things go. And it's really, I don't say this to clients. Most of them are not ready. I was not ready for some things because things kept happening to me. I didn't speak about this in my Serbian video, by the way, because I know some of those clients will recognize themselves, but I cannot not speak about it anymore because what I keep it. And this way, magic is seen, and it has to stop. Magic is seen. Done. I was researching basically what happened to me then. Somebody who was helping me until then, when I had stuff like that, they attached to my left kidney, and they were throwing stuff at my lower back, like energy balls. disabled me from walking a little bit, and I had to ask for therapy because of that. And during that therapy, this happened because they're following me. They were following me all the time, and they had attached at that moment, so I ended up in a hospital. I was fine afterwards, but it just kept continued. It didn't stop because they took a portion of, I didn't have. They tricked me into giving something to them through that session. They tricked this therapist, and instead of making it a learning point, honestly, I was really angry at her until recently. Not because this happened, but because afterwards she didn't want to hear anything about it. I wouldn't recommend, you know, forget about it. Delete that. It was a learning point for all of us, so I learned my bit, obviously, because I was naive. I would never say something like that to my clients, and I never do. I don't know why I just followed, that, but I felt really insecure at that moment because I was feeling really low on energy, and after that it was even worse, and that was like 2008. And then I had a plant teacher come to me in dreams, and she told me, I want to see you. And then I went to a neighboring country for a session, and she helped me, but it was like a constant battle so that I am able to retrieve and maintain my space. And I had many clients afterwards, and I had this training afterwards, and I had many clients with these issues afterwards. And this is how it's how I connected the dots. This is why I understand what to do with this kind of clients. This is why I see other. This is why in a session with my clients, some things happen that don't happen with some of the therapists. This is why some energies are being revealed and are being able to be removed. And basically, they were on to me, and I didn't even know that they were on to me. I didn't even believe that, like most of my colleagues don't. So, and most of the times they're being used with these kind of energies. Most of them unknowingly, and probably it would be also be me. I'm constantly, I'm fighting with them. I'm doing everything I can to keep my energy clear and keep my space clear, especially have my practice at what I do with my clients in a perfect in heart space. Anyways, that client got help too, but she told me things through the session itself. In a conversation, I discovered a lot more. Basically, this guy was the one who put me in the hospital, so this is why I didn't want to work with her. That's what I'm saying. He's just one of the guys that's being used also, and they use images of people like up front, but behind there's somebody else who is like pretending to be. They use the energy of other people, so when they want to come close to you, they would possibly also use the energy of somebody you think you know, or hide behind some other, or hiding. I mean, I had clients who I also saw like this, but I knew that they were not attacking me because it was not their energy. So they're using the images. So yeah, I've been having some pretty serious stuff that I'm not talking about. This is the first time I'm actually mentioning it like this because enough is enough. Because this last time it was like almost it was not fatal, but it was really difficult. And I don't want this to happen anymore. I mean, it's not my job. It's not my job. I do in sessions with my clients, it is to help connect with their soul, like I said, and everything I've been explaining so far, and I've been pretty good at it so far. I love doing it, but we have to go through the certain levels, and there's certain other things, clear other things. And when these clients mostly don't know who to turn to, and some people don't even know what's happening with them. I've learned through my own experience, and I also had trainers afterward. So this is why they come. This is why they're brought, actually, but their guidance. But honestly, I don't like that. When I learned about, when I was being trained, nobody told me that I'm going to be dealing with this, and nobody told me that I will be attacked because I'm helping people. Nobody told me that the ones who are attached to those people would not want to let them go, and they will attack me when I disconnect. I mean, I don't disconnect anything from anybody. Their soul does that. And I'm obviously a thorn in somebody's eye here, but as with other clients, as with this last client that I was mentioning, um, usually with people like them, for me, it starts from childhood. They're usually following you around from childhood, and possibly other, not possibly, but from other past lives too, because you have specific kind of energy you're interested in. Like, this is why I started with it in the beginning. This other client, she was not. She had we had some past lives together, and they knew I cannot refuse a session with her because of that. I knew too. And I was crying before the session, and I was just thinking, what will Christ do? Will Christ refuse to help this person? And then I decided I will. I said in love, and I held her hand, and we sent love to them. This is what she told me some things after. Even asked her, "Are you sent by them?" She said yes. I mean, she didn't know. Not That doesn't mean that she was aware of that. She wasn't. They told her go there, and no, they were attached. They sent something through her. But I did some clearing straight after that session. But in deeper stage, she confirmed this, and she said that they were monitoring me and they were interested in me. And I mean, I basically asked whether they wanted to harm me or attach, and yes and no. So I'm speaking about this because I want this to stop. Because I'm not gonna stop doing what I do. I love that. I don't want to deal with these kind of things. But given through what is coming, maybe I will need to. But when I say I don't want to deal with this kind of thing, I don't want to deal with attacks. I don't want to deal with fighting somebody. I don't want to deal with I don't fight anybody, but obviously, if I was throwing lightning from my hands, I had to defend myself, and that happened quite a few times, and I am aware of that. I can't do it anymore. I couldn't. Uh, because of that moment when I ended up in a hospital a couple years ago. So that was to prevent me from defending myself, and I don't want to be in a position to do something like that. I am divine feminine. I'm to bring down love and peace. I'm a peacemaker. I'm all about peace. I don't want to fight. If I have to defend myself, I will. But I don't want to be in a position that I have to do this. And nobody told me that I will have to do this. Obviously, my soul knows from past lives, because I've had so many lives that I just shared that when I was when something happened to me because I was helping other people. But I want to get out of that circle. There is. I know from my clients, I know that there is a place above that where everything blends into it, and when things like this don't happen, it's just that there's some service to self groups. They haven't developed further from a certain point. They have done this through many lifetimes, and it's same people, same beings. They're mainly reptilian and mantis beings. There are others who implant you, like betas and greys, they implant you and they work with technology and stuff like that. But reptilians are the only ones who are attaching to you, and mantis ones. And they're like, not all of them, not, this is not generalizing, but it's like they're, I know a lot, I have a lot to say about this, but I'm not sharing it here because people who are my clients, people from around here, are not ready for all this. And everything that I'm receiving as the information, I cannot say like nothing because I don't want to hear. I believe the narrative that is being presented, and not only the narrative that is going around on media, it's the narrative that is being presented from IOPS who are keeping the status quo. Like white hat, black hat, they're all same thing. They're just fighting each other. Now we're caught in between. And it's not where we want to be. We're divine beings. We want to be in divine love. And this is what I'm all about. I don't want to be having to fight. I have been pushed into this. I want to get out of this. I will have to be helping people who are going through something like this, yes. But I don't want to be having to experience again. I'm going to be attacked again from somebody who wants a piece of energy again. So I'm hoping this will shed a little light and bring a little beginning of an end of something like this, because they need to be stopped. They need to be healed. This kind of group, who are service to self groups, who are living on our creations. I mean, they're ideas, but we create for them, and in our energies, they are those kind of beings. There are beings who are eternal, who are not physical, but are using. They're having people who they are attached to. They also have bodies. They're not physical. They're not present in those bodies, but they're like remotely working through them. So they're doing this, and they are eternal too. They haven't gone past certain levels, haven't evolved. At some point, they were, they de-evolved because of certain choices that they were making. And soul also has an ego. This is a confirmation, an example of how soul has an ego too. I've had sessions with clients who were in the soul, ego of the soul. Not all souls are bright souls and healed souls. This is why we do these sessions, and this is why we're here. If we didn't have any more work here, if we didn't have any more lessons, I'm not going to say karma. Karma is a lesson. If we didn't have any more lessons, we wouldn't be here. We would be on another plane and doing something else. Or yeah, maybe we decided to come and help, but we still, even those who are on the mountains, on the caves, on the mountains, and shining their light to help humanity, or doing prayers, or they're learning something personally for themselves. We all have lessons here. If we didn't have them, we would be walking out of this reality. There are other beings in other dimensions who are helping us and creating that's I don't know how to put this, directing this wishes of ours, and they're like, this is what we call guides, yes, but there are the groups too who we, most of us sometimes don't connect. Some of us have some encounters with, like those group. There are these kind of who are like opposite of them, because at that level there are still opposites, there are still polarity, and they don't want to evolve because they, it's okay for them. They don't know they're an ego. They don't, I mean, they don't know that they're an ego, but they do know that they're harming others because this is what they function on. So they chose their path, and they're human forms, or humans who are on that path, who have been picked by them, or chose consciously to do this and walk this path and be of service to the higher something in this way. They chose it. You cannot negotiate with them. You cannot make them not walk it because they chose it in the same way we chose it. And because we're mostly unaware of our choices, even when we choose, and the reasons why we made them, and because we're mostly unaware of what is working through us and who are we connecting with, like in this session of mine with this therapist who hindered me, um, this is why they can make they know it. There are divine laws they cannot break, and they know it. As we are a free will universe, free will planet, it will direct your path in the same way the others, your guides, are trying to direct your path in a certain direction. They don't interfere. Beings of light don't interfere. They will never be harsh with you. They will never speak badly of you. They will never criticize you. They will never yell at you. They will never use nasty words or curse you. That's the sign that it's not me as a therapist. It's a sign that you're not communicating with your guide, but with a being that doesn't have your best interest um, in on their mind. They have not working for you; they're working for themselves. You're working for them, and so far it's been not so hard to recognize this and connect with your real guide. Like I'm saying now, there are some sessions where it is, and there are some sessions that were, you know, because of these manipulations and everything that is going around since 2018, it's been harder for somebody like me and practitioners like me and people who are doing this to do their work properly. Even the ones who are good intent, everybody, they will tell you that they're of the light, that they're having your best interest. I mean, there are the ones who are not of the light and who are of fake light, and they will tell you that they're of the light. Nobody will tell you, no, I'm not. There is no being that is going to tell you that. If they want to make you make a choice, it's not in your best interest, but in theirs. Of course, they're not going to tell you. You have to check yourself. You check yourself before you wreck yourself. You have to check yourself. I didn't check myself. In that session, I trusted somebody else, and that was my lesson, a harsh one. And I did learn a lot until this point, because that was in 2018. But it It's been a harsh point, and I prefer if I didn't learn in this way. Yeah, my fault. It was not only mine, but it was, it was a split second. And what I asked myself later, I mean, why did I say this? Because I would never say something like this to my client. So why did I accept it? Was them? And this is how darkness works through you. This is how the beings who are very bright and very of the light are tainted. This is why I keep saying it is not deliberate. It's not deliberate. It's because this is how we are unaware of how we are choosing. And sometimes we don't even think we were making a choice because we think we're doing something by default, or it's like everybody's doing it, or it's normal to do something like this, or we don't think it through because at that moment it seems okay. Like, they told you vaccine will save you and you think it's going to help you, but then it does something else. That kind of thing. I had to work extra hard to make my energy not be tainted because of that. Because they want to taint it. They don't want to taint it. They want it for themselves. They want my talents for themselves. They they, they want something I have, like they wanted it from first from the beginning. And I won't go into details or anything how I found. It was a long journey. But the point is that I'm from a specific group that is actually dealing with these issues. And I've been dealing with these issues before. And I just needed to remember it. Because I was not surrounded by the ones who are from my group. I'm not. I don't have anybody that I can discuss this with here. I'm surrounded with the ones who are like the ones that I'm mentioning now. And this is what I'm saying. Even the ones who are doing a good job don't always think twice and will fight you if they think they're better than you. They think they have more energy. They think they're better therapist, better healer, better looking, better something. This is how it works through them. This is why we have to be aware and alert all the time. And with me, the way it goes, it's my body telling me. So what I did after that session is like I had to I was fasting. I was told I need to do a juice fast, a liquid fast. But the next round I need to do like water fast because I was not able. I mean, I've been doing it for a while for one day a week for a couple of months since the summer, but now I had to do 3 days. I did three 4 days, and I really literally felt like bricks and stone, like bricks falling from me. They were outside, not inside of me. And this is what I would recommend to the therapists, other practitioners who've had issues with people who took vaccine, because I discussed it afterwards with some other practitioners here, and some told me that they had the same reaction. They had the same feeling. It was not necessarily this bad, but they weren't attacked afterwards, but they had problems. They got sick, and they needed to ask for help. So this is what I was told. You need to fast. You need to clear your energy. You need to find a detox. Basically, it doesn't have to be a fast. For me, it's a fast, liquid fast, or water fast. Cover everybody, but you need to find a detox. So you can detox through plant medicines. You can detox through meditation and connecting to your soul. But for your body, you need to find something that will take up metals and poison. I felt poison. I also felt poison, but that was from being from the being sick. I felt like I was poisoned and I couldn't breathe. And yeah, like you're having the bullfrog medicine or other um, tropical medicine that will help you. Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, but yes, but it's you need something strong. I mean, it's not that the cacao is not strong, but cacao is it works on your whole body, but it's more like a love medicine. It does push something out of your system. For this, you need something that's really, I don't know why just liquid fast and water fast worked for me. That's what I was told by my guidance, and I'm directed to stand it, like make a little break, and I do it again. And it's also because I guess I feel a lot of my clients' processes too, so it's energetical, not only physical, but I'm talking about the physical stuff here now. So yeah, for something, cacao works, but for something you will need, I don't know, kambo or some tropical healing plant. Or for others who are not into that, just try liquid fast and then water fast. So the point of this session is, and this this video is about how the darkness works through you, where it goes through you. Sadness, when you are when you're absorbed into into this sadness that becomes like damp, like moist when you are in a swamp. It's like you're in a swamp and you're drowning in it, and it's like damp, and it's like with these certain kind of energies who are like creator energies. When it's times three, it's like you put a heavy wet blanket over everybody around. This is how it works. So it's not that those emotions are bad. They're not bad. There are no dark emotions. I don't believe that. They're just unprocessed emotions. But you need to work for them, especially people like that client was like me, like some other people who are empaths and who enhance these emotions and who create through that. You have to be aware of what's going on with you and what's going through you, what you put in your system, not only in your physical system. When we speak about food or vaccines, it's your physical, but it's also energetic system, like with emotions, with beliefs, with everything that we're presented with. Everybody, the virus, like who's going to prevented, giving the cure to viruses and stuff. But who's going to give us a cure of the virus of war? Where is that cure? We are that cure. We who are sitting in these energies are not so good, and we are enhancing them times three. We have to be sitting in the vibrations of peace and love and joy, enhancing that. And given that I have not been in a good place since this issue of war started, its hype of war. I have to mention this, where I didn't mention it in the Serbian video, because that's the story about darkness too, and how darkness works through us, because this world hasn't been cured from war. Why? Because we all have memories of war inside of us. Not from this life, many of us, from past lives, all of us. There have been galactic wars, and we have had lives with, with wars, and this is what's being instigated now. So this is how they push your buttons. You see, I'm trying talk about all along. They pushed our buttons through. They're only about fear. They pushed all of our buttons with narrative of virus. Because you're constantly worried about whether you're gonna get sick, whether somebody else is gonna get sick, whether you're gonna harm somebody. It starts on another level, yes, but nobody ever thinks about getting to that level. It's also with war, something that we usually do not touch upon. This is why I became a peacemaker after the experience of war in my country. So I had the need to help myself, and I had the need to help other people, everybody here, because everybody was heartbroken because of everything that was happening here, because of the destruction of our country, because of the wars, the physical wars that happened in Croatia and in Bosnia, because of the bombing that happened here in Serbia, because of the military operations and police operations that happened in Kosovo, many, many things. I personally have friends who have been through war physically, that because the fights were happening in their areas, everybody here was living through the experience of bombing. Nobody was spared of it, even the people who were in helping professions. So we're all sitting in fear at the moment here, because everybody's talking not only about the war that is happening in Ukraine, but it's going to be this is a global war. Everybody's talking that this is a global war. And instead of doing what we can, not feed that narrative we're all talking about, what already started. It didn't start. Like before I sat down to make this video, I opened some channel. I don't know who that was. I mean, I know, but it was very short, but it was like alert, like a worldwide alert that something's going to happen tonight. Well, it's night here, but tomorrow. And globally. And it got me, I can't breathe. I'm afraid of war. War is something you should be afraid of. The threat is real. And by the way, the thing that is going on in Ukraine is real. It's not fake. It's not a movie. Yeah, there are a lot of misinformation flowing around. I have friends there. I've been to Ukraine four times. I know living people there. We're not so close as we used to be, because I'm not in this story of peacemaking in 10 years, but we're all from this story, and I'm watching people who were for peace, like asking for arms. It was breaking my heart. And I had to work. I had to consciously sit down and work on my unfinished business and fears of war, and what I remember from I still have it. I sat on a bus like 500 meters from a bridge being bombed. So my energy, we've been through exactly the same scenario that's going on in Ukraine now. So my heart goes out to people there. I'm not going to be into this divide, because we are all Slavic. We're all one nation. We shouldn't be fighting in the first place. This is just the ancient infiltrations getting us to fight with each other, like what I was speaking in the beginning. This is how they work through us. This is how they get us to do what they want, by not standing and hating each other because somebody said something we don't like, or somebody is doing something, or somebody took a girl from us, or somebody is better, or somebody attacked us and let's get revenge, or let's get, of course, it's normal when you're attacked, you have to fight back. And in a situation like that, But people are going to be thinking about, these kind of things in therapy. They will be thinking about survival. When you're in a survival mode, you cannot grow. You can actually regress. And this is why I'm sad, because this is regressing all of us. It's deliberately set to do that. This is what I was trying to tell some people. I'm actually being hated around here because I keep saying that, I don't see the president of Russia as a good guy. I mean, they're all in it together. And everybody's seeing him as somebody who's ending the COVID narrative and stuff like that. No, I don't think so. This is just regressing all of us. Because this is where they want us to be. And we as with a majority of our ancestry here, I mean, and politically and everything, people will be supporting and given through everything that we've been through, because they see it as a fight with NATO, and we have been bombed by NATO. People will be taking sides and supporting the other one, and then the Russia. And I think that our nation is also dragged into this. We're all being dragged into this. It doesn't mean that any of their leaders is a savior. There are no saviors outside of ourselves. Aliens are not going to come to end this. Maybe directing information and everything from another dimension, but we have to do something. We have to be in divine love to stop this. At the moment, I felt really sad for the last couple of days, and I honestly don't have the will to do anything. I don't see how. Not only because the energies have been heavy, but because of everything that's been going on. It's too much, and I don't know how. Like I said, I was on the verge of giving up. Yes, I mean, there is also I get paralyzed when somebody mentions war. We all get paralyzed here. People, if you watched your friends change, your relatives die, or I didn't have any of that. I've watched my friends change up being to war. And I've been a teenager, so most of my life, all I have been doing is heal myself from those kind of memories. I don't want that again. I don't think anybody wants that again. And I think this is an appeal. I mean, I don't know to whom, because those guys and those beings, they don't care. But for all of us. And while I was watching, those friends, and not only on Facebook, because I'm really talking about the real people, and we have many friends of them, so I really see a report from them what's going on there and how they're feeling, and they're sending emails and stuff like that. They're not thinking like this anymore. Of course, everybody has their own path and their experiences that they have to go through, and their own karma or lessons. But it's just, it's the feeling of dread. You just cannot not feel. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm feeling it more because I'm, we're closer, not physically, but because of being there and having connections and everything. So it's more real for me, but it's more real for us here because we've been through it. And like I said, it's exactly the same scenario to the last comma. It's the wordings, what they're saying, the misinformation. For peace sake, I was going in Switzerland straight after bombing, and there was a NATO base in Kosovo at that moment in 2000, and everybody there, the Americans there, kept convincing me it's not there, that it's a misinformation. because they were told so by their news. I mean, people saw it with their own eyes, and I kept telling them I didn't have photos at that moment. I didn't know I would need them. It was there. Of course, after a couple of year or two, they accepted the fact that it was there and they were picked. They just couldn't at that moment. I'm like, excuse me, I'm I live there. I live there. I'm coming from there. You know, I've been there. I know how this works, and it's in this state, not knowing who to trust, and especially around me with doing what I do in all of these experiences that I just explained with the group service to self groups. They're interested in what I do and in me, and in general in the energy or anybody's energy at the moment because they're lacking energy. It's really hard at making me like I know some of the people that I know stop doing things like stop working because they don't want to feel this kind of thing. I don't want to because this is who I am. And crispy speaking made me into this and all of these experiences. And I really I'd rather avoid this moment in time because my heart breaks because of the need to be polarized. Whether this, you know, watching one nation being so humanized only because they belong to this country now, and the things that I see that are going around because they are like, of course there are people like that in that country, but there are people like that in the other country and in my country and everywhere. And of course we're living in the physical world. There are polarizations. We all are living it. It works through us, and this is how it works through us. And what's happening at the moment is that these um, forces they need to be opposed. There's one force that is pushing for change and is bringing change, and this is the other one, opposing force that is pushing back. And it's only natural. This is how it goes in physics. This is the law, or they can blend into something else. But when you have a current, some currents in water currents, they're one cold and one warm, will create some disruptions in the field, and we'll feel it. So this is how it goes. The opposing forces oppose each other before they blend. And on the sixth level, the level of souls, when we all come together, when we bring all those experiences into one, and when we integrate them, this is where the polarities don't exist. However, there are fragments of souls that are too damaged, that are too energy cannot be destroyed. It doesn't destroy. You cannot destroy energy, so it cannot be destroyed. It's alive. Somebody tells you they will be destroyed. Now, they go to healing place. It's a, they are isolated. They work with beings who are specialized in working with those energy, or they're in isolation and self-isolation, so that they're learning or healing, like they're healing. There are souls who are healing from their experiences of choices of being of self-harm, like in using experiences that are going to bring pain and sadness, or experiences where they're going to destroy themselves or other people, or create some kind of pain, or suicide, these kind of things. There are also souls who are too much into destruction, who are too much into soul ego, and they're like drowned in the destruction. They are so addicted to it. They have to be recycled. There is a place for recycling, and they have to do it over again. It doesn't really matter what level they were. So they're stripped there. abilities and everything. They're just like they're not babies, but they don't have memories, or I don't really know because we don't get to work with these kind of souls. But something this is something that other souls reported. So they know this and they don't want this. This is why I mentioned those who are eternal and they're having it going for them. They don't want this, and this they're going to be creating much more of the opposition than necessary. Some opposition is necessary because this is how polarity happens. What I'm saying is let's not enhance it more than necessary ourselves. Let's become aware of what are we bringing into our system. And if we want to go to the next level, like I want to get out of this circle of astral fight. This is an astral war that I've been talking about. Actually, starts there. It started there way back. It's just showing up now. Which is also stupid because so all of these souls are part of one soul, part of all one group. Some of them don't remember because they chose to. They became addicted to certain energies and certain choices, and they need to be apprehended. They need to be arrested. They need to be, when we speak about the ones who are having physical bodies and physical, the ones that I mentioned, like these certain energies and certain rings, and like who are into using other people's energy and energy trafficking and stuff like that, and then these ritual stuff, and they need to be healed, but they first need to be stripped. They need to be taken to the levels where they can be healed, and they need to be arrested, taken to justice on all levels, not only physical level. The physical level is the last level. You need to be taken to justice on other levels where this is actually happening. Have they been on some of the levels, and what is the outcome down here? I don't know. I have had videos where I was talking about the courts of heaven, where you can report stuff like this, and people thought that I'm talking mumbo jumbo stuff. But no, there is certain when they're speaking about certain alliances, like a Guardian Alliance and Intergalactic Federation, they are the ones who are needing to deal with these kind of beings. There are certain levels. Of course, we're on a soul level, we're neither male or female. We're neither this being or that being. We're light, we're sound, we're vibration, we're energy signature. There are certain levels where these fragments of ourselves who are still living in those energies are trapped there and need to be liberated from there. And certain scenarios for some of us need to go like this. These perpetrators need to be apprehended so that our energies can be liberated and we can have another role. Some are not trapped. Some are just, having the roles of somebody who takes care of balance intergalactically, or guards people, or guides. But then you can guide them, But if you are somebody who's taking care of other souls in this way, you might have an experience of being attacked by the ones who are wanting to guide them in another direction. That was my 2 cents for myself. Anyways, really, we need to stop doing this. It is us, all of us, who are creating all of this. Yes, there is somebody who started, but it is all of us who are allowing things like this to happen in our unhealed collective field. We need to heal points of us that still remember war, that still are in pain because of the destruction and losses of war. There are others who need to heal parts of them that still need war. Of course, they're not going to do it of their own making, of their own choice. So, us who heal these pieces in ourselves, we'll have to interfere, make them see that they don't need it. How? I don't know at the moment, but we're doing this together. It is us. We are the force that is bringing in change. We are our own change agent. Some of us are more than the others, but we are the ones that are the intervention, our higher selves. The more of us connect to our higher selves, the faster the intervention will happen. So, go to sessions, work on yourself. Come to session. When you heal you, especially some of us, especially the creator beings, especially certain souls, like I've mentioned now, you do it for everybody else. You can only, essentially, you can only change yourself, not somebody else. And it is not that you are working through collective karma through you. You're just changing you. And the reality around you changes accordingly. So please work on you. Stop focusing, judging, expecting what's next going to happen like I did now. Even if so, what am I going to do? What am I going to change now? I sat down and I had dreams. I got a key, and then there was some key that unlocked something, and I went into the area where like old stuff, like in the walls were torn down. Some experience that I couldn't recall so far, but from that I connected some dots about some things about me, some things about my lineage, and some things that I just mentioned in the beginning about this certain group of who I am came through. So this is not like a shadow work. A little bit like it, but it's not a shadow work. Shadow work is something else. In shadow work, you have you can have your hidden abilities there. You can have traumas there. Yeah, here too. But this is not what I'm talking about at the moment. How is darkness working through you? Some of us maybe had choices when they worked for destruction consciously. Although what I've seen, when you choose a path, when somebody chooses a path of service to self, they go all the way. And by the way, they wouldn't let you. It's like mafia. You can't get out. No matter how many lifetimes you try. You can pull in again. So this is another thing that I asked this client from the beginning. I just had this intuition, and as long as there's fighting for you so much. Did you have a life where darkness took over you? How is that they're taking over you? And she said, yeah, there's something, but it's really deep, and it was not a time for her to remember it now, to work on it now. So I just left it there. But this actually is how darkness is working through all of us. Maybe like I just mentioned at the beginning, you didn't have to have done some destruction or close this path, or we're trying to get away from that path. Like some people, maybe you just had too much pain and other choices, but you always try. There are in certain levels there are two paths, and when we go there, some people literally see. Like I see light every like a tunnel or a door, or they see like a light bulb, and the other side they see like a black square. So sometimes you can ask them which one they want to go in, they can choose and they go. And sometimes they just end up there if there is something that they need to check on there. Some souls had many lifetimes like this, and this is their healing from it. But if so, they will be tracked down, and they will do anything they can to bring them back in, to pull them back in, and they will attack everybody and anybody who tries to help them during this process to prevent it. We all had these choices where we were a little bit shady and gray, but when somebody's you know black, they usually has a lot of lifetimes, and most actually, they only choose this path until they get to the point where they only it's a little bit more tricky because of the divine laws that they have to create it. There's always somebody there in your reality that you care about and that you want to help unconditionally. That's the trick for them. And for us, the trick is that um, where we slip, those are the things that I was just mentioning where we slip. Ego things mostly, the pain things too. When you had too much pain, it's really also hard to get out of it and forgive and not wishing to revenge. And we're all constantly being tested there, and especially practitioners are constantly being tested there like I was. Hadn't I sat in love with that client and decided that I'm going to sit in love and I'm going to send them love and enhance, and I, I held her hand and I picked up something I shouldn't have. I usually am much better for me if I don't place hands on clients, but I know what's going to happen, and I said, I'm good, and I literally said, I willingly decided to have a session with you, and I willingly decided to let you in this space so that I can help you, so that I can show you love. And I showed you love, and I did show her love through that session. She started crying. That's where she told me something in a session. And this is not a regular therapy session, and I'll be probably scorned for this, but I was pushed. I had to do it. And this isn't, I mean, I'm also speaking because of my colleagues. Other at some point, somebody might be faced with something similar. This is the only way you can do it. by showing utmost love for that being. It was a physical being for the other being. Some of them will understand love as an attack. So in these times, it's not always the best thing to send love in the areas that are affected by war. No, you should not be neutral. You should not be bypassing. You should not be pretending like nothing is happening. Neutral. You can be neutral, but you can acknowledge that something is happening. We need to have compassion for each other. We are being desensitized from everything human. If we are stripped from our compassion, what else is there? Yes, it's real. It's not fake. It's happening. We should not be judging or closing our eyes, because it's also what they want us to do. This is how they pull us in. We should have compassion and help who you can. Choose divine love. Choose your guidance. Choose your soul. Choose yourself. Help who you can. But do not be bypassing. Do not for 1 minute think that it's a movie. It's not a movie. Maybe a time comes when you need help and when you need somebody on the street that's going to help. I didn't like that feeling when I needed to be relying on total strangers to help me. But we've been there. I know how it felt. And I'm not going to be denying my help. A loving, kind word. If that's all I have at the moment, that's what I'll offer. Stay in compassion, not in judgment. And not in closing your eyes. What's going on? Because that doesn't mean you're giving your energy to narrative. You just acknowledging, cool, yeah, that's going on. I'm sorry. Pray. Ask the higher beings and the higher power to help them and help us all. Because this is, we need them, but most of all, connect to your higher self, your soul. This, work on yourself. This is how you help. By blocking somebody who's telling you you're not telling the truth, when you are saying that nothing is happening and it's going to be over in a week, and this is a savior scenario, you're not helping anybody. You're just helping your ego, because you're showing that you're in service to yourself, because you want to be right and you want your group to follow you and believe you. Not turn on the ones who are on the same side as you. Of course, there's others who are showing their faces now. We're handlers and government agents and stuff like that, which is another thing we need to know. Some of us, most of us, that are in a fast-paced awakening and other stuff. So yeah, be discerning. Be very discerning. Yes, it's tiring. I'm really tired from all of that. I'm really tired from measuring every word, everything something tells me, everything that comes into my space in reality. I just want connection with people. I want to connect with some people that I feel this heart connection to. I feel that are from my group there, but I have to check everything 2 and 3 times. Is also maybe not good, but in these times we never know. That's what I'm tired of. And this is what they're doing to us. This is what I mean, that we're being regressed. We do need to come together with our groups, with our original groups and soul groups and soulmates, so that we fast pace. change in divine love. This is where I'll end it. I really took my time now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm feeling this so deep. I don't want any more destroyed. I forgot like we're all on the same. It's been hard for me. I'm used to being in an international community and having friends all over and having friends in the international community, and I'm being stripped away from that. Watching what's going on with these choices with the vaccines and having to choose who to work with and who to not being understood by some people who are friends, and seeing now what's happening to my friends and these evil things that they're doing, but it's just everything that we were not about, everything that we sat together to create something different. And to my heart, it's sorry. I'm really sorry for everybody who's tried to do this for all of us. We have to push through, and we have to be embodying divine love. More of us need to be. So please, if you feel connection with me wherever you are, and I will resonate with it, to connect, because we need to. It is time. We cannot be in separations anymore. We need to get together and just sit in the middle. I'm sorry, I just saw something. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, and wake up others. Go wake up other children. Activate them. It's see you next time.